Hey everybody, welcome to part 2. The sociocultural model. The sociocultural model focuses on the addict's social environment. This includes their family, friends, community, and the culture they're immersed in. It asks the question, are these different social aspects of the addict's life contributing to the addiction, or are they helping the addict to heal through friendship and support? Let's take a look at Jim's social circle. He may have friends who are encouraging his addiction, not stopping it. This can cause problems if the therapist or counselor doesn't understand this. They may put Jim on medication and teach him new coping skills, but send him right back to where he was when he first became addicted, his friend group. Relapse is common in this situation, because even with his new skills and abilities, Jim may succumb to the peer pressure from his friends to abuse heroin. Another important factor to investigate is the culture in which Jim is living. Does it promote excess drug or alcohol use, or does it condemn these behaviors? For example, Western culture often promotes the use of alcohol when socializing. Alcohol is at most social gatherings, and it's common practice to offer a guest a drink. Thankfully, Western society does not promote the use of heroin as much as it does alcohol. Family matters as well. Say Jim has an extremely supportive wife who sticks with him through the tough stuff. She'll be there for him all through his recovery and forgive him when he messes up. This type of support is essential for Jim to be successful in recovering from his addiction. On the other hand, say Jim's wife blames him for all her problems and is rarely supportive of him. Jim's recovery will be much harder as he won't have anyone to fall back on in case he slips up. The sociocultural model takes all these aspects into consideration when looking at addiction. And finally, we have the biopsychosocial model. As you may get from its name, the biopsychosocial model is all-encompassing. It looks at addiction as a disease of the brain, the product of lack of healthy coping skills, and the result of an addict's social environment. Let's take one last look at our friend Jim. His addiction to heroin is partially due to his lack of coping skills. Remember when he lost his job? Jim was stressed out, and because he couldn't relax in a healthy way, he turned to heroin. Perhaps Barbara could teach Jim about healthy ways to cope, like getting enough sleep, eating well, talking to his friends and family about his worries, and avoiding drugs and alcohol. Doing this will teach Jim to cope with his daily stress and healthy ways instead of with heroin. Barbara will also ask Jim about his social circle. Questions like, would you consider your family and friends to be supportive of you? Or do your friends do drugs? Jim's answers to these questions will determine how Barbara directs her treatment of him. If Jim was an alcoholic, she may also take into consideration Western society's endorsement of alcohol use. She may remind him that there are other ways to enjoy life without drugs or alcohol. If any of these areas in Jim's life need improvement, think addicted friends, an unsupportive family, or lack of community support, Barbara will help improve them until he's no longer addicted. Finally, Barbara recognizes that addiction is a hijacking of the brain's reward circuit. She knows that heroin as a depressant works with the brain's reward system to make Jim feel better than he ever has felt before. As seen earlier, it floods his brain with excessive amounts of dopamine, which results in the brain reducing the number of dopamine receptors. This of course pushes Jim to continue using the drug in an attempt to achieve that first high. As well, it dulls Jim's response to everyday activities like eating a great slice of cake or having a chat with friends. The biopsychosocial model takes an all-encompassing view, one that investigates the biological, psychological, and social aspects of addiction. Thanks for watching.